Alright team, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning into today's video. Bitcoin is bound to make the next weekly move very soon. We're talking within the next 10 days. And obviously with FOMC meeting coming up on the 2nd of November, that could be the catalyst for Bitcoin's next big weekly move. Let's go ahead and dissect it in the charts today. We'll see you in there. Okay guys, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. So the UK just announced a new PM, and that is Rishi Sunak. And I want to talk a little bit about this because he's stated many times he is bullish on cryptocurrency. And I want to dive into that because it isn't what it seems. So let's take a look. And here's a perfect quote to summarize my point. He says, "It's my ambition to make the UK a global hub for cryptocurrency asset or crypto asset technology. And the measures we've outlined will help to ensure firms can invest, innovate, and scale up in this country." This is a very particular sentence, and he's used a very particular word in here to help push his opinion in a discreet manner while confusing the majority of people who are probably not as well switched on about this, and that is crypto asset technology. The word crypto asset technology doesn't refer to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency assets. It refers to blockchain technology. The reason he's bullish on blockchain technology is because he wants or sees the benefit in creating a central bank digital currency as a means to regulate and centralize more our current monetary system and help bring our current monetary system out of the big, shitstorm it's in with the current fiat system. He believes a central bank digital currency is a solution, and he believes that blockchain technology is the means of which he can actually carry out that goal and create that central bank digital currency. So it is not bullish on cryptocurrency. It is bullish on central bank digital currencies. And he'll go ahead and say he's bullish on crypto until central bank digital currencies come out, and then all of a sudden, cryptocurrency is the enemy, Bitcoin is the enemy, it's the decentralized criminal coin, and central bank digital currencies are the centralized, good person, bank coin that we should all be using. And that's going to happen, guys. The narrative will flip, and it always does. It always does. We see it time and time again, and it will happen again for cryptocurrency. Is a matter of time. So this statement here, this idea he's pushing is false. He doesn't care about Bitcoin. He doesn't care. He is interested in blockchain technology, but he's going to utilize that to promote his motive and obviously promote the motives of the people backing him, such as the World Economic Forum and the people above him that are telling him what to do. Okay, so be aware, guys, this isn't good news for crypto. This is not good news for crypto. I see a lot of people saying this is bullish for crypto. This is not bullish for crypto in the short term. I don't even have a market at a positive reaction to this. The moment you look deeper and you look at central bank digital currencies and you find out, what they are and what potential they have to limit our freedoms and restrict our purchasing power and options in this economy, you instantly realize that is actually almost the complete opposite of what cryptocurrency is. You have blockchain technology creating good and evil, and evil being central bank digital currencies and good being Bitcoin. So, take it for what you want, guys. That's my opinion. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, guys, so I want to talk about this chart here because we recently broke out of that triangle formation, that descending triangle formation, a bearish pattern. We've actually broken to the upside from, which is pretty rare to see. And, is this move fake? Is this breakout fake? Possibly, guys, and obviously we won't know for sure yet. We have to wait to the 2nd of November, and the 2nd of November is important because with the FOMC meeting, we're going to find out not only information on the interest rate hike, but we'll also find out potentially whether or not the Wall Street Journal was correct in saying the Fed will likely pivot. I feel like this is why the prices have been going very sideways lately. A lot of people are anticipating information on regards to the pivot. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Because when we find out the information, we'll understand the market will get a better grip on what the risk is, what the systematic risk is, and then the price can move a little bit easier depending on what that news is. So obviously the FOMC meeting, guys, 96.5% of people are expecting 0.75 basis point and 3.5 expecting 0.5. This is slightly flipped since the last video. It was 99.5 expecting 0.75 and 0% expecting 0.5. So very, very slightly flipped downwards to looking more optimistic, but again, nothing significant. We'll have to find out when it occurs. So there's a few things I want to talk about today, and this is one of them. We're broken out of this short-term descending triangle too, and we've actually come down, and you can see we've actually retested this level. and we retested it in quite an important level, at quite an important short-term support. I'm going to go ahead and draw out, I'm losing my mind here, I can't find it anymore, but there it is. Okay, we've actually retested this level over here. And as you can see, this area provided a decent amount of support for Bitcoin in the last 2 weeks, which is this zone between 19,141 to 19,200. It's about a $50 zone. Come down, retested this downward trending support line, as well as this horizontal support zone. The question is, will this move sustain, or are we going to continue downwards in the short term? We'll take a look at that today, and we're also going to take a look at, what do we need to see on the weekly to see a definitive weekly move? We'll take a look at that later. Let's start on the short term though. So the short term for Bitcoin is looking here and there. And the reason I say here and there is because, yes, we've had a nice retest of this horizontal range, which is again, this point here. We've got a nice retest of this downward trending support line, which of course is a support resistance flip. You'd assume that would be bullish. And yes, the pattern doesn't look awfully bearish, but a few things, guys. The DXY is still very much within this bull flag formation. And that does mean at some point, we do expect this to break to the upside. Now, we did attempt to break to the upside yesterday, and by attempt, I mean we tried to break through the trigger level, which is 112.3, and we talked about that, saying if we break through 112.3 on the 4-hour and push above, that would be the trigger for a move upwards, and of course, if we break through 113.5, Bitcoin will go down, okay? So it looks like the DXY is still finding support here, guys, and if the DXY rises, Bitcoin falls inevitably, okay? There's nothing more to it. Obviously, USD AUD found a lot of support here, like we said yesterday, and it's bounced up a significant amount. We're looking at about 1%, maybe even 1.5%, 2%. And obviously, that continues to rise upwards of the DXY, Bitcoin will continue to fall. So in terms of the economic situation, in terms of the data we have right now on the strength of the dollar, Bitcoin isn't looking favorable. In terms of the technicals, we'll get into that in a second. And in terms of the structures, it's looking a little bit impartial. And I'll tell you why. The structures look here and there. We have our diagonals and horizontal zones indicating retests and flips, which is bullish, but we have our horizontal levels on a larger time frame, which is green and red lines, indicating we are looking at more favorable shorts than we are longs. And the reason being is we are much closer to this horizontal resistance, which we've actually retested a few times here, creating lower highs on 3 times now, or twice should I say, which was over here. I'll show you in a second. Here and here, lower highs and rejections, expecting that move downwards into this range. Then we are bullish, expecting to move upwards. The risk return on shorts here are much more significant in terms of the risk return on longs. So if you're looking at it from a zone level, you are more likely to be taking shorts here, or looking for shorts than you would be looking for longs. So if we go ahead and take a look at the smaller time frame and do some technical analysis here, we can identify a couple of things. And first and foremost, we do have our uptrend over here, which is this uptrending support. You can see we actually came down and retested that. And if we go ahead and bring up our market cipher, go to a larger time frame, we can see that we've actually broken below that market cipher again, the 50 EMA, indicating weakening of this trend. Now, if we go bring up the RSI, we can see a few things. We can see the RSI is more or less pushing sideways, and we're kind of dipping in and out of this horizontal support. Not quite cracking below the horizontal support, but we aren't forming any sort of bullish structure. I would really, really like to see Bitcoin break back above this EMA here, this 50 EMA, before losing this trend line to confirm a potential move upwards. But more or less, guys, it is looking like if the DXY continues to rise here, which it very much will, or very much can at least, according to a market structure, Bitcoin will continue to go down. If we're looking at what is your risk return probability? What would be your best choice right now? You'll be more likely to be looking for potential shorts than you'll be looking for potential longs, as your risk return on longs are less favorable. If not that, at least waiting out of the market for something significant to happen, because this move up here, although it was a big move, it wasn't a significant move. We didn't break through, 19,800. We didn't break upwards to 20,500. We didn't even break down into 18,800 zone. We didn't do anything. We just moved up 2%. So be cautious, guys. Don't jump the gun on this and really wait. And I think the market is doing just that. The market is really waiting for the 2nd of November. They're waiting to find out more information on the Fed hike. They're waiting to find out more information on the pivot before it makes a definitive decision. And we can see that as all-time volatility is basically at all-time low. The price is essentially not moving. It's basically, finding these long periods, 2 or 3 days of very tight consolidation, followed by, news events. This was a news event, guys. That was a news event, followed by a news event. This was a news event again. Manipulation. This is the Wall Street Journal, all right? These are all news events. All these drops and pumps, news events. It's basically not moving. It's just moving based on news events. And again, that goes forwards and basically reinstates and reconfirms the fact the price action is very much horizontal right now, very much in a sideways consolidation. There is a lot of people on either side of the argument, bullish, bearish, and it's just really pushing and pulling and it's not really going anywhere, but it will flip at some point. And the reason I believe we'll see a big move in the next 2 weeks is because I believe that on the 2nd of November, when we get that information from the Fed, we will get a definitive answer, or at least a strong suggestion, okay? Well, it's very unlikely to give us an answer. A very strong suggestion in terms of what the pivot will occur or will it not occur, and that will flip the risk in the market, and Bitcoin will make its next move, the next move that all this pent-up horizontal consolidation has been waiting for. Okay, guys? Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video. Cheers. Okay, guys, we're going to be taking a quick look at Bitget, and now Bitget is where I personally trade. I highly recommend signing up to Bitget with the link down below. Bitget is probably the best exchange out there if you are a trader. It has a variety of features, and the best things about Bitget are a few things. Number one, it's non-KYC. Well, KYC is completely optional in Bitget. Now, there's a whole variety of exchanges out there nowadays that have gone completely centralized, sharing your personal trading information and information of decentralized governments and different governing bodies. Bitget allows that option to be left to the individual, to the user of the exchange. You can decide to non-KYC, you can decide to KYC. It's completely your choice. Another really beneficial thing about Bitget, and the biggest reasons why I'm sitting here actually recommending Bitget to all my followers, is that it has 0.02% trading fees. All right, this is significantly lower than any other cryptocurrency trading exchange out there. FTX, Binance, could name a bunch more, KuCoin. It is significantly lower, by 500% lower than the lowest exchange out there, Binance. Another big thing, guys, is there's no global restrictions on who can use Bitget. Anyone from anywhere can sign up to Bitget and get access to the entire exchange of all the tools, whether it be futures or spot. No matter which country you're in, you can use futures and spot. If you're in America, for say, and you want to get access to more spot trading pairs, such as Binance Global, and you can't sign up, well, guess what? They've got 250 different spot trading pairs here on Bitget to get access to, and you can get access to all of these. If you're in Australia and you want to access the futures market and you can't trade futures, you can do it here on Bitget. You can get access to the future market and start trading with leverage. And finally, guys, if you do want to sign up to Bitget, go ahead, click that link down below to sign up to Bitget, and you'll get access to the reward center over here, which enables up to $4,000 in rewards by completing 5 tasks. All right, guys, we'll get back to the video. Thanks for listening to that.